So my question is, I guess it's simple, but it feels like the possible outcome is super complicated. Could the Cowboys actually, possibly, maybe win the NFC East? Something that 3 weeks ago I would have fallen out of this chair laughing at you.
Yes. And now you're the one presenting it.
And I still think I was going to say I think it's unlikely. It's unlikely in terms of I think it's less than 50%. But I think it's creeping closer and closer.
What are you looking at? Are you looking at the Cowboys' remaining schedule, and that's the predictor for you?
So I think there's three things at play here.
Okay. Real quickly, on Thursday when Tony Romo laid out hey, this is how you can maybe get in, but it's impossible because everybody in the wild card already has a better record than you, and it doesn't look like they're going to slow down anytime soon. I was like, oh, crap. Then I started thinking Seattle, the Rams, and San Francisco are going to beat up on each other at the end of the year here.
Right,
Somebody's going to fall out of that mix. I got very stressed, though, whenever he presented that idea. So then now I'm like, okay, how do I win the East?
And so you start with how well the Cowboys are playing, right? And then the next part is looking at the rest of their schedule. And then the third part, and I think this is key, you can't rule out what happened to the Eagles 2 years ago happens again. Because it sure does look like they might be on the brink of imploding. And maybe you're like, you know what? No. They lost to the Cowboys, who are clearly playing significantly better. They lost to the Bears, who are the number one seed in the NFC as of right now. But it just feels like everything they say that goes along with it, it feels like the conditions are prime for them to implode. So I think those are the three things. How well the Cowboys have played these last few weeks, the rest of their schedule, and the fact that the Eagles really don't seem to care for one another this year.
Okay. Washington is twice on Philly's schedule. You think that they can win both of those? And
that's where you got to hope, because the word is that Jaden Daniels will be back this week.
Okay.
You got to hope that makes a difference.
And
but Washington has other issues too defensively.
The Raiders are also on the Eagles' schedule at Philadelphia.
Right.
Though that's the only reason right now. Their schedule isn't daunting.
Sure.
There was a time when we thought it would be late the season for them because Buffalo, the Chargers, and Washington twice. I was like, oh, man, that could be the deciding factor right there at the end of the year. I have to hope that there is that inner turmoil. The fact that they can't run the ball makes them one-dimensional, and teams take advantage of that. I got to hope that because, man, Saquon Barkley just does not look right. That run game does not look right at all. The Cowboys, I have actually at this moment, I have complete faith in their approach to this final part of their season.
Okay.
They have a Quinnen Williams who's motivated. They have a lot of guys on the defensive side of the ball that are very motivated. And now getting Trayvon Diggs back is going to be very interesting.
That is fascinating.
And I want to see his motivation. They have an offense that is just in full force. Like, it looks like it's ready to tear up. So I have a lot of faith in what the Cowboys' stretch will be here. It's just everything that they did at the beginning of the season has put them in a bad position to make a run here. And so Kevin, I just don't know if I believe that they can actually pull this off. Not because of them, but because of outside things.
What would make it super duper fun is if the Eagles lost to the Chargers, right? Because then, hopefully, you can beat the Lions. We've got a few days to break that down, up, down, left, right, everything like that. But if the Eagles lost to the Chargers again, and the Chargers are a good team, then you go into that final stretch and you're like, hey, I know Vegas is not good. I know Washington is not good, but who the hell knows? And you'll have a whole nother week probably of finger pointing, right? So I think that makes that part fun. Mm-hmm. But then again, if you lose to the Lions, it might feel like none of this conversation really matters.
With the tie, can you explain how the tie factors in a positive and negative way at the end of the season?
See, and I was going to say, it's going to obviously factor in in a negative way if it comes down to, like, you really wish you would have gotten the win over Green Bay, and maybe you could have held the tiebreaker in terms of getting into the playoffs over the Packers.
Okay.
So I think that's the number one thing. But on the flip side, what makes the tie actually kind of fun is you don't have to worry about complex tiebreaker situations. Like, what are you going to run into? All right, so let's say the Cowboys, like, rock and roll, and they finish 10-6-1. All right, well, it's going to be really simple. Mm-hmm. They're ahead of the team that is 10-7. They're behind the team that's 11-6. So you don't have to know any complex, multi-tiered, tie-breaking procedures.
Coin flip.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to worry about any of that because it's just you and Green Bay. Now, if it gets down to you and Green Bay, that's where you're going to go back to, and you're like, dang it. I really wish you would have won that, because then right now Green Bay would be 8-4, you'd be 7-5, you'd hold the tiebreaker.
Okay, all right.
And you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so it'll actually make math a lot easier for people.
I will put it to you this way: when it comes to the chart,
Yeah, do we change it?
no.
Okay.
I
thought probably
I
not.
said you could move up, you could advance.
Yeah.
But I think that there needs to be a couple more things. I'll tell you this: eyeball test tells me
Right.
that you're better than mediocre right now. On the whole, this season you have been mediocre to sub-mediocre.
Sure.
But eyeball test tells me right now you look better than you did by far at the beginning. That Chicago game compared to what you've done the last couple weeks, two different worlds.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, you are looking above mediocre. I'm going to need one more. I'm going to need one more to put you in that above mediocre area.
It's funny how losses change too, right? Because that Chicago loss looked horrible, not only because you get your ass kicked, but because the Bears sucked, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, the Bears are terrible. This is a terrible loss. Now you look forward to it and you're like, oh, well, the Bears are the number one seed in the NFC right now.
Mm-hmm.
They've been winning.
But no, I agree, kind of, the way you lost that game.
Yeah.
That one's the difference. You got torched.
crushed.
The Bears have barely beaten everybody except for you. Like they, look at most of their games are kind of like Tampa. They're like
Right.
last second, good luck, guys.
Right.
Ben Johnson's been saying that. He's finally got those guys believing though that they're as good as he thinks that they can be. Because he's even said it. If you don't believe now, just wait. Keep like every week. Here we go. But that Bears, the way you lost that first Bears game is the reason that you're like, okay, that's different than all those other ones.
Yeah, look, and I saw somebody say the Cowboys just need to win out. Sure. If the Cowboys win out, you don't have to worry about any of this. You're in, right? And then, like, to your point about moving the chart or just furthering your expectations, if the Cowboys win on Thursday, and I know we have a lot of fun with the chart, but you can even put the chart aside for a second and be like, no, I know what I saw. You beat Philly, Kansas City, and Detroit back to back to back.
Yeah. Detroit's in a weird place. But you got a really good point there. Those 3 weeks were the most daunting anyway, and you're in a different position right now.
And so it wraps all the way back around to the question, could the Cowboys actually possibly maybe win the NFC East?
Okay, to answer that question, then yes.
I think so, too.
The way you just asked it, yes. Maybe, possibly, yes.
Because I think
Are they a lock? No, by no means. But yes, maybe, possibly. You got to have some things fall in your place. You got to think things got to fall in your favor for sure.
Yeah.
But you're right there.
I know what you're saying. Fortune favors the bold. That's what he's saying,
What
right,
are you
Alec?
doing?
Oh, okay. Then we're definitely going to lose.
People are requesting the chart, Kevin.
Okay.
So
show me the chart.
I'm going to. You are here. All right. At the moment, you are still mediocre. All right. Still mediocre.
That feels fair.
And I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. And if you're saying you're not, you haven't watched this team the last few weeks.
Right.
If you're saying that you're better than that, you didn't watch this team before the last few weeks. All right. Now, I'm not going on just right now. This is where you stand this season, and this season you're right there in the middle. You have opportunities to change that by the end of the season. And Kevin, as Jerry says, the most important thing about changing that, even if they don't make the playoffs, you give people hope for next year. And that's the most important thing. Winning is not the most important thing. It's having hope for the next year and hope for the next week and hope for the next couple weeks. All right? That's the most important part.
Well, clearly I hate that because the most important thing to me is right now. Like, I don't feel like that is a controversial opinion. The most important thing right now is right now.
All right?
Right? Like that.
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, I would certainly hope not. By the way,
Van Halen once said that.
Yes.
Right now.
Tomorrow.
Something about tomorrow.
By the way, if you're concerned about right now, meaning today, tonight's Cowboys show right here on 105.3 The Fan, the Cowboys Hour, will feature Brevin Spann-Ford. And so that is somebody who I feel like we've all really appreciated the last month or so.